Hey guys, this is Austin with HotHardware, and today I'm here with a review of the Toshiba KIRAbook. The first thing you'll notice about the KIRAbook is the fantastic 13-inch display. It's got a resolution of 2560 by 1440, and it's by far one of the best screens you'll find on an Ultrabook today. If you opt for the higher-end KIRAbook, you also get a touchscreen, and like most Windows 8 Ultrabooks, it is a nice feature to have. I naturally found myself using touch for the most part over the trackpad, although there are parts of Windows which are definitely not designed to be touch-friendly. Speaking of, there are some odd scaling issues with Windows on the KIRAbook. Most things are roughly the same size as if this was a standard lower resolution screen, but certain icons and bits of text can be almost hilariously small. Taking a look around the rest of the laptop, it's built with magnesium and it feels nice and sturdy without being any heavier than you would expect. Along the left side, you'll find the power plug, HDMI, and a pair of USB 3.0 ports, with one more USB 3 port on the right side, along with a headphone jack and SD card slot. You'll also find a pair of Harman Kardon speakers built in, which are excellent for an Ultrabook with decent volume and a deep, rich sound. The keyboard is great. It's got backlighting as well as a nicely spaced layout with good feedback from the keys. Like most Ultrabooks, there isn't a ton of travel, but beyond that it's top notch. The trackpad is nicely sized and fairly accurate. It has a somewhat small strip on the bottom for left and right clicking, but it works well with all of the Windows 8 gestures. Considering the KIRAbook is a premium laptop, you'll find Windows 8 Professional 64-bit on board this review unit, with lower-end models coming with standard Windows 8. Bloatware is thankfully not an issue with the KIRAbook, as the only trial is Microsoft Word, with full copies of Adobe Premiere and Photoshop Elements included, along with a free 2-year subscription to Norton Antivirus. As far as the specs go, it's outfitted with a 17-watt Ivy Bridge Core i5 or i7 processor, integrated HD 4000 graphics, along with 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. Performance with the i7-3537U is right on par with most high-end Ultrabooks, and while typically it's almost silent, the fan will kick up somewhat loudly as soon as you start doing any heavy lifting. Having a decently sized SSD is also a big plus, as it makes the KIRAbook very snappy with normal use. All of this doesn't come cheap. The base model is definitely the best value with a Core i5 and no touchscreen, but even it runs a steep $1,600, while the top spec model you see here bumps it up to a Core i7, Windows 8 Pro, and a touchscreen with a hefty price of $2,000. For the money, you're getting one of the best screens in a laptop, solid hardware, and about the highest end specs that will fit in a 13-inch chassis this thin. The biggest issue is the price, but if you want the best, the KIRAbook is definitely worth a look. Don't forget, for the full written review, be sure to stop by the site.